spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. The kicker, Will Reichard, has the ball on the tee. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And able to get this out to the 25. Quickly to the air is Burrow. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
Another run for Brown on 2nd down. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Brown is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter if we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at the last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Bengals are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now out comes Minnesota. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To the air with McCarthy. And it's incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Looking to throw McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Middle of the field to Jefferson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. 3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Throw left side complete to Chase. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now it's Burrow. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They get 7. Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call, and he's thrown that red challenge flag out on the field. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. This is Brown going up the middle. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Now it's Burrow. And that'll be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Burrow looking to pass. And this is going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, 2nd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll go again to Jones. Shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Throwing is McCarthy. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. From the shotgun, McCarthy. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now McCarthy. That is incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 34.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. As they've got it as we resume action. Burrow will throw. This one complete to Yoshivas. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Second down and 3, ball on the 7. Now Burrow. He's got it. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. They try and run forward here with Brown. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Running right, Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2nd and a couple. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
I like the fact that they didn't overcomplicate things on that call. 3rd and 2, just run the quick little hitch, which they did. Ball's out of quarterback's hands, and yes, indeed, they pick up the first down.
Operating from the gun, McCarthy. Over the middle, it's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Rondale Moore, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals offense returns to the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And this one is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They go play action with Burrow. Now a short one to get for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. An inside give, Brown. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
In motion goes the tight end. They'll look to throw now on first down. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
On 2nd and very short, Burrow. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Andre Yoshivas, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they've wanted to attack.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Up the middle, Jones. Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 35, here's the 2nd down and 6. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Over the middle, complete. That's more. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
To the air with McCarthy. And this is going to be incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's McCarthy. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Burrow going to get this out to Chase. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. From the 41, Burrow out to the left. He's got Sample there. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and 2. And Burrow going to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the 1st half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem.
They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Now it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Three yards remain for second down. To the air again, Burrow. Got a man, it's Brown. He's into space past the 25. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Now it's Burrow. Throw left side complete to Chase. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Second and 7 from the 20. Burrow looking to pass. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And the Bengals are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Throwing again, it's Burrow. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Here's Jones again on second down. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
An inside give to Jones. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 76 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having zero fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Able to find Higgins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Burrow will throw. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Again, it's Burrow. The 20. He's got the first down and then some. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Andre Yoshivas with his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game, so they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now out comes Minnesota. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
Here's a give to Jones running left. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw McCarthy. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On play action, McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st.
There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Vikings get a bit closer. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man in concert.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. He's got Higgins over the middle. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Burrow. Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The LSU connection. Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Room here to run. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 91 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. The safeties were well back there, and he had a lot of room. Were they in the cover too?
Yeah, they were, and the safeties were back. You know, usually they're 12 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, somewhere around the hash mark for each of them. But what also happens if the linebackers dive into the line, if you block them initially, that blocker can come off of them and get up to the safeties on the 2nd level, and now you've got a big place to run the football.
And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. That's taken in by Higgins. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. Now it's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Mike Gesicki, a 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't
miss it?
change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing is McCarthy. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. McCarthy. A check down here to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Moore, the man in motion. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. To the air with McCarthy. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Third down from the gun, McCarthy. And that will be incomplete as well. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. They defer to Brown to start the drive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Allen picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
From the gun, a give to Brown. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And that will be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Slant route, and he's got Addison. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
McCarthy operating from the gun. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play. Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. McCarthy going to throw again. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 32-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Here's a 2nd and 5. McCarthy off the play fake. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth-quarter stop? Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Two yards to go, 2nd down. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And oh, he coughed it up, and the Bengals grab it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Right back to Brown. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now McCarthy. That pass complete to Moore. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Two yards still to go. 3rd down now. Looking to throw McCarthy. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Going for it. Here's McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Sticking with the pass. Here's McCarthy. Complete. Jefferson the target. The play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Back to throw again. And Jones has it over the middle. And he will have a Vikings 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, McCarthy. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Here's McCarthy. He's going to let it fly. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, 56 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.